Welcome to a bonus episode of the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast, the power of connecting in real life. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. So, I don't record many bonus episodes. However, I want to share about a recent experience and the revelation that I had that resulted from the experience. So, my friend Megan, she founded the Mompreneur Guide, and that's the mompreneurguide.com in case you're curious by the time I'm done with this bonus episode, if you want to find her and connect with her. Anyhow, Megan is local. She's in my area in Northeast Ohio. And she was preparing to host her first in-person retreat in July. She reached out and invited me to join. Megan's been a longtime friend, biz bestie. And I think it was May or maybe June when she asked, and I quickly told myself there is no way I could pull that off between the store I co-own with my sister, planning my own business retreat, upcoming travel that I had and still have ahead of me, plus family commitments and everything else I have going on. I told myself I can't possibly add this to my plate too. Plus, I work on my business all the time. I was thinking, I don't really need this in my life, right? At least that's what I was telling myself. Yes, I actually thought the words, like, I can't add this to my plate. It was as if a retreat was a burden. And this is what our brains do. I realized after a couple weeks of going back and forth of trying to decide, I realized that that's what the thoughts my brain was doing. And it was absurd. I am now getting really good at calling out the crappy thoughts that my brain feeds me. So instead of having my brain tell me that this was a bad idea, I spent some time really sitting with myself and thinking about if this was something I truly wanted to attend. And I realized it was. This was part of my checklist that made me realize this. It's hosted by one of my biz besties who also invited another biz bestie, my other biz bestie, Maureen, to join us. So that felt really special that I would get to hang out with both of them. I realized that it would give me time to focus and strategize, even though I had told myself that I work on my business often. The location was in one of my favorite small towns in Northeast Ohio. It's Chagrin Falls. It's the most charming place, and I absolutely love it. I always loved that area. It was in a fabulous and really cool Airbnb right in the middle of town. So I knew I could just step out the door and walk to any of these cool shops, any of these great restaurants, see the falls. It was in an ideal location. And I knew it would have me surrounded by smart and savvy women business owners. Not a ton. I knew this was going to be a small group, which actually felt even better to me. So these were kind of the things that I reviewed internally with myself about why do I really want to go rather than telling myself I can't do this. So I decided to make it happen. And then these were some of the things that I did in order to allow myself and to gift myself this 2-day retreat. So I got a team member at the Salvage Boutique. That's the store I co-own with my sister. I got a team member to cover the store because I knew my sister that was her scheduled time off for vacation with her family. So I got someone to cover the store. I had a conversation with my husband for planning purposes, and him and Logan would get a boys' night out, and they weren't really mad about it. So in that respect, they were completely fine with it. I think we had to rearrange a couple of things, but not a big deal. I made sure to cancel and or reschedule any calls, including 1 or 2 client calls, and I normally never do this. I'm very committed to my client calls. But this, again, felt very special to me and important to me. So I did go ahead and reschedule, and I think I canceled 1 or 2 other calls. I made arrangements to pick up my biz bestie, Maureen, because I knew that would give us more time to chat. And I feel like we never have enough time to chat. So this was going to give us probably an extra hour, hour and a half for us to chat and catch up in the car. I think the only place where I really dropped the ball was like preparing in terms of like taking snacks or having things that maybe the Airbnb wouldn't provide us. Luckily, Maureen picked up the ball there and saved me. So I went ahead and moved forward, and I spent 2 days at the retreat. It wasn't a week and it wasn't a ridiculously long amount of time, but my goodness, was it impactful. And it was just 2 days. And this is what those 2 days did for me. It gave me time to breathe. Yes, I had to cancel things. Yes, I had to rearrange some stuff. And yes, I had to come back and catch up a little bit. But while I was there, it really gave me time to disconnect. And it's a retreat, so it's a relaxed place, right? Like we started off the retreat with just like a little bit of breathing and a little bit of thought work and not quite meditation, but it was really nice because Megan forced me in a good way to pause, to really pause before the 2 days started. We had lunch outside both days, which is fantastic. We had short walks outside, and that's really good for me. You all know how much I like to walk outside. But again, it gave me time to breathe. It also gave me time to reflect. And it was because I gave myself this time to breathe, and I don't mean like literally physically breathe, just breathe in terms of taking everything else off of my plate, giving my brain, I guess, space to breathe. I believe I finally took the time to acknowledge all that I have accomplished with Savvy Shopkeeper. It felt good to realize how far I've come. You see, Megan knew me when I left my former career. In fact, Megan was a stylist at the time, and I hired her to cleanse my closet after nearly 20 years in a different career. And we quickly became friends after that. Obviously, we've remained friends, and even through her transition from stylist to the mompreneur guide, we've continued to be friends. If anything, we've become stronger friends. So during this retreat, Megan brought to light to me and everyone who attended how far I've come. And I took some time to reflect on this too. When it feels like we're not growing or we're not accomplishing enough, it is really helpful to pause and look back because we don't always gift ourselves with this reflection time. And I get it. Like, you're probably all like, yeah, I never do that. I'm very much an action taker, a forward thinker. So I really don't do this enough. But this retreat gave me time to reflect, and it felt really good. It also gave me time to strategize. I had one thing in particular I wanted to work on, and Megan and all the women attending, the other 4 women who attended, they helped me come up with a plan. This is something I was putting off. I kept and probably still am keeping this at the bottom of my list, but at least now I have a plan for moving forward. I got past my adult tantrum because literally while we were there during my strategy session, I voiced to them that like internally I was having a bit of an adult tantrum. Like I just didn't want to have this conversation, although I knew I needed to have the conversation. And the lovely women at this retreat, they laughed with me. They laughed at me. God bless them. They really had fun with me, and they had fun with the fact that I was acknowledging what was going on. And then it gave me time to connect. Yes, even this big introvert, I've talked about this before, I'm a big introvert. I felt incredibly inspired and happy about connecting with these women in person. No Zoom calls, no distractions, no multitasking. It was real in-person connection. And aside from the 2021 retreat, which I left last year, I left that farm on a high. I really hadn't experienced that since the retreat. So doing this for myself with these 4 other women, and feeling really happy about connecting in person with them and chatting with them and smiling with them and hugging and all of that stuff. It just felt really, really nice to connect. My phone and laptop, I should say, were down and really closed almost the whole entire time. And this felt fantastic too. So even after I witnessed the effect of the 2021 Savvy Shopkeeper Retreat, the effect that it had on all of those that attended, including me, I couldn't see how beautiful, valuable, and helpful Megan's retreat would be for me. I didn't see that before I actually committed to it and attended it. I walked away from this retreat realizing that some or many of you are probably pulled to attend the Savvy Shopkeeper retreat, but that the negativity in your brains, the I can't possibly squeeze this in, or I can't do this, all of those thoughts are popping into your thoughts too. That was the big aha moment I had, was that I realized everything that I was doing to myself before actually committing to this are probably some of the same experiences that all of you or some of you are going through too. So within days of getting back from Megan's retreat, someone close to me had a medical emergency. This was also the weekend retreat ticket sales for the Savvy Shopkeeper retreat were supposed to close. It was a really stressful time for me, and I really wasn't in the headspace to close ticket sales that weekend. So for me, when I'm selling the last of the retreat tickets, I want it to feel fun for both me and for those of you who are buying tickets. I want you to be excited about it. I want you to be looking forward to it. I want you to feel enthusiastic about it. And because I wasn't feeling those emotions, I knew it wasn't the right time for me to close the card on retreat tickets. So instead of forcing myself to stay committed to that cart closing date, I decided to keep it open. And if you're on my email list, you received an email. It was a really brief email that said I was experiencing a season of my own and that ticket sales would remain open. I am happy to say that my loved one is okay and went home after 1.5 days in the hospital. It could have been much worse, and I'm grateful that this person is home and doing well, and that this didn't extend beyond a few days. It was a very short, stressful season. Thank goodness, because we all know when someone is sick or you're going through something personally, it could be weeks, it could be months. So anyhow, after the dust settled and my loved one was home and I was catching up on conversations in Master Shopkeepers, I found several posts in the group about members who are going to be attending this year's retreat. And the words, seriously, they really spoke to me. And I felt like, I felt like it was all coming together. Like the fact that I went to Megan's retreat, my aha moments from the retreat, me not closing the cart on retreat tickets, and the reasons why I chose not to do that. I felt like all of this was coming full circle. I also felt like this particular group member, her words, she was speaking to me, she was actually in my head. It was so weird. So I just want to read what she said. She said, I have to make this post. It's for anyone on the fence about attending the retreat. I have felt so busy lately that I don't know which end is up. The store is doing great, but is feeling needy, and my other business is demanding a lot with the end of Q2 and leadership planning events. And yet yesterday, flying home from Atlanta, I was so thankful I had booked the retreat on a day when I was surely feeling more in control of things. I was thankful because today, me would say, there's no way I can take that time. But today, me is also super bummed that I also wasn't able to take the time to do the email challenge or haven't been able to attend live calls lately. I want so badly to be connected to something more than the tasks and the never-ending calendar. And it's interesting to me that this is choking me up. These are my words, not hers. But it's not going to happen by magic, no matter how much I believe in magic. So when I was weepy, see how it's funny? Like she's saying she's weepy, and here I am getting choked up. So when I was weepy and stressed on the plane, I was thankful that I had those couple days set aside in September to reconnect to my shop. So again, this post really spoke to me. It was like she was in my head. And then the conversation that came from it in Master Shopkeepers really resonated too. So I just want to share what some of the other group members commented on, or what they commented with. One group member said, I feel this on a deep, deep level, making time for things I want to do instead of the things I have to do is impossible. This is a member who did book a retreat ticket, so she understood what the other group member was saying. Another group member said, yes, completely feel this. I'm excited to connect with other like-minded business owners, and part of me wants to put on headphones, enjoy a nice breeze on the farm, and daydream of possibilities. And a third group member said, yes, agree, 100%. I'm so overwhelmed and burned out and feel like I'm missing out on so many opportunities to connect that I both cannot begin to imagine how I'm going to be okay leaving the business for the retreat, and also super glad I opted in. So I have to just hand the key to someone and go anyway because I definitely need that time. So all of this to say that the cart for 2022 retreat tickets will definitely now close on August 15th, 2022. I'm going to say that one more time. The cart will close on August 15th, 2022 at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I really don't have a choice but to close it at that time because there's so much that goes into this event. So it will have to be a firm close date. There won't be any oops or I'm not doing this. I don't have a choice. It has to close that day because of other impending deadlines with the retreat. If you are being called to attend the 2022 Savvy Shopkeeper Retreat, this is your magical, and I'm putting that in quotations, magical sign. This couldn't come more from my heart. This isn't me about wanting to sell this out. I am completely happy with everyone who's going to attend, and I feel like whoever attends, it's almost meant to be. But this is like a heart-to-heart conversation with you because I realize what happened to me before Megan's retreat. And I also see how valuable and how impactful last year's retreat was. And I genuinely just don't want people to miss out. So if you are being called to attend, please go to savvyshopkeeper.com/retreat and grab your ticket and join us. I genuinely feel anyone who attends is going to love it, is going to get so much value out of it, is going to be uplifted and feel inspired and motivated. And that's what I want for all of you. Do this for you and do this for your business. And not just that, but the impact that it provides you as a business owner and you as a human being, it will spread out to family members, to close people around you, to your customers, to the people that walk into your door. It spreads out across every part of your life. And for that, I know you will appreciate it. It's time to boss up.